All right, if you're holding sovereign gold bonds, or SGBs, you've probably been hearing all this confusing talk about new tax rules. So let's cut through all that noise. We're going to break it down and give you the straightforward answers you've been looking for.
So this is the big question, right? You probably got into SGBs thinking, hey, this is great. The returns are tax-free when it matures. And for a long time, you were absolutely right. But what's all this new fuss about? Well, it turns out that old, beautifully simple rule, yeah, it's not quite so simple anymore.
Okay, so to really understand what's changed, let's just take a quick step back. Let's remember why we all fell in love with SGBs in the first place.
So what was the secret sauce? I mean, it was just this amazing combination, wasn't it? You had the rock-solid security of the government backing it up. Each bond was literally a gram of gold, but with none of the headaches of storing it. Plus, you got that nice little bonus, a 2.5% interest payment every year. But the real game changer, the absolute crown jewel, was that final point. If you held on till the very end, your capital gains were completely tax-free. That right there, that was the big one that got everyone excited.
And this is where the plot thickens. That beautiful, straightforward tax benefit we all banked on, well, now it comes with some pretty big ifs and buts. It's not a given anymore.
And look at this. This really sums it up perfectly. We went from this simple, beautiful world where it was just tax-free on maturity. End of story. Now it all comes down to two crucial things: where or how you got your bonds in the first place, and exactly when you choose to sell them.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to walk through the different scenarios so you can figure out exactly which bucket your SGBs fall into. Okay, pay close attention here. Let's go through this line by line. First up, the best case scenario. If you bought your bonds straight from the RBI during the initial offering and you patiently hold them for the full 8 years, you're golden. Your gains are still totally tax-free. Whew! But this is where it starts to get tricky. See that second line? If you picked up your SGBs on the stock market, from another investor, your gains are going to be taxable. Yep, even if you hold them till maturity. And that third line, that's the real kicker. Even if you were the original buyer, if you decide to cash out early, after April 1st, 2026, those gains, they become taxable too.
Okay, so that date we just mentioned is super important. This is a big one. Every single person with SGBs needs to circle this date on their calendar. Yep, 2026. Specifically, April 1st. Think of it as a new line in the sand. It completely changes the game for anyone thinking about cashing out early. So what does this mean for you right now? Well, for some specific SGBs, that window of time before the 2026 deadline, that could be your last shot to get out early and still walk away with tax-free gains. It's a big deal.
So who exactly should be paying extra close attention? Well, if you own any of these specific series or tranches, which is just a fancy word for the different batches of bonds that were issued, then this is for you. All these SGBs listed here have their 5-year early exit window opening up before that April 2026 deadline. That means you have a potential tax-free escape hatch that later investors just won't have. So seriously, pause for a second and check if any of your SGBs are on this list. Okay, moving on. Let's tackle another area where people get mixed up. That 2.5% interest that hits your account. Is that tax-free? Let's be crystal clear on this one. No. The 2.5% interest has never been tax-free. That's a huge misconception. Unlike the capital gains, this interest income has always been taxable. It gets added right on top of your other income for the year, and you pay tax on it based on whatever income slab you're in. And just because they don't deduct TDS, or tax deducted at source, doesn't mean you can forget about it. You absolutely have to report it when you file your ITR.
Okay, I know that was a ton of information, different dates, different rules. It can get confusing. So let's just boil it all down to one super simple rule you can always remember. Here it is. This is all you need. Your personal 2-step tax-free check. Just ask yourself these 2 questions. 1, did I buy this directly from the RBI when it was first offered? And 2, did I hold on to it for the full 8 years? If you can say yes to both of those questions, then boom, your gains are tax-free. If the answer to either one of those is no, then you almost certainly have some tax to think about. Simple as that. So there you have it. The golden promise of SGBs, it's definitely still there. But now it comes with a much more detailed instruction manual. The number one thing to take away from all this is simple. For that guaranteed tax-free gain, you've got to buy it from the source and hold it for the long haul, the full 8 years. Anything else is a different story. So the big question we're left with is for you to think about. Now that you know the new rules of the game, will it change how you invest in SGBs from now on?